1. Iconic clockmaker Howard Miller closes after 100 years. 2. I audibly gasped, news of Howard Miller shutdown shocks Zeeland community. 3. End of an era, Howard Miller clock shop shuts down after 100 years. 4. Howard Miller Company closes after 99 years, a legacy ends. 1. Iconic clockmaker Howard Miller closes after 100 years. A century of timekeeping comes to an end. Imagine walking into a room filled with the soft tick-tock of handmade clocks, each one a testament to almost a century of craftsmanship. For nearly 100 years, Howard Miller, an iconic Michigan clockmaker, has been the heartbeat of Zeeland, but this legacy is about to come to a close. In a move that has left many in shock, the company announced it will be shutting down its manufacturing operations after nearly a century of producing handcrafted clocks and custom furniture. But here's where it gets controversial. The decision to close shop is not just about the company itself, but also reflects broader market trends that have been quietly reshaping industries for years. The combination of tariffs, fluctuations in the furniture market, and rising inflation have created a perfect storm that even the most resilient businesses cannot withstand. The larger question is, can small businesses survive in such a challenging environment? Howard Miller, which employs around 195 people across locations in Zeeland, Traverse City, and North Carolina, will cease production by the end of the fourth quarter. However, the company will remain open into 2026 to sell off its remaining inventory. Employees, distributors, and customers were informed of the decision on July 9, and employees will receive a severance package along with job placement support. President and CEO Howard J. Buzz Miller, the grandson of the company's founder, expressed deep disappointment while acknowledging the harsh market realities. Furniture sales are closely tied to the health of the housing market, which is struggling. Our hopes for a market recovery early in the year were quickly dashed as tariffs rattled the supply chain, sparked recession fears, and pushed mortgage rates higher. The furniture industry continues to shed jobs and announce plant closings. He further emphasized how inflation and rising interest rates have complicated matters, making it unsustainable for the business to continue. Tariffs have increased the cost of essential components that are not available domestically, driving specialty suppliers out of business. This has compounded the challenges faced by the company, forcing it to wind down operations. Despite their efforts, the company has not found a buyer yet, though they are open to offers. The Howard Miller Foundation will continue its philanthropic work, supporting nonprofits along the lakeshore, a testament to the company's enduring legacy. Howard Miller was founded in 1926 by Howard C. Miller, the son of Herman Miller, a renowned figure in the furniture industry. The company began by crafting chiming wall clocks and mantel clocks with all-wood casings. Over the years, it expanded into high-end cabinets and desks, and by the 1940s, it was producing avant-garde clocks found in galleries worldwide. During World War II, the company contributed to the war effort by producing anti-aircraft gun covers for planes built by the Ford Motor Company. In the 1950s, Howard Miller shifted focus towards futuristic clocks, and in the 1960s, it became famous for iconic grandfather clocks. The company made significant acquisitions, including the Heckman Furniture Company in 1983 and Woodmark Upholstery in 1994. By 2001, it had produced over 15 million clocks. The company's impact on Zeeland is profound, with its name featured on multiple buildings, including the Howard Miller Public Library and the Howard Miller Community Center. Zeeland Mayor Kevin Klinstra reflected on the closure, stating it's a sad day for both the company's employees and the city. It's always hard to see a company close, especially one that's been around for 100 years. Howard Miller has always been a big part of the history of Zeeland. They have been at the forefront of clockmaking for a long time, and the family has always been very generous, donating thousands of dollars to local nonprofits and Hope College. Caitlin Bosch-Vermeris, director of the Zeeland Historical Society, highlighted the lasting legacy of the company. Clock manufacturing has a significant and far-reaching legacy in Zeeland, from the hundreds of people who worked in the industry, to the historic factories that still define our landscape, to the clocks that now grace homes across the country. For over 100 years, Howard Miller Clock Company and the Miller family have been pillars in the Zeeland community, representing the best of Zeeland entrepreneurial spirit, design innovation, and a commitment to quality that has stood the test of time. As the clock ticks down on this chapter of Howard Miller's history, it raises important questions about the future of craftsmanship and local businesses in a globalized world. What does the future hold for iconic brands like Howard Miller, and how can communities support them in these challenging times? To learn more about Howard Miller's journey and legacy, visit their website at https://howardmiller.com/https://howardmiller.com. Contact reporter Austin Metz at hollandsentinel.com to share your thoughts on this story. 2. I audibly gasped, news of Howard Miller shutdown shocks Zeeland community. A collective gasp echoed through the heart of Zeeland as the announcement of Howard Miller's shutdown reverberated through the community. The company, a mainstay in the region for nearly a century, known for its clocks and furniture, declared its decision to cease operations, leaving the town grappling with the economic repercussions and a profound sense of identity loss. The Howard Miller Clock Tower, a landmark in downtown Zeeland, has long been a beacon of the company's enduring presence. The news of its impending closure has struck a chord among locals, who see it as a symbolic blow to the community's spirit. "I couldn't help but gasp aloud when I heard," shared Jody Oksarski, a native of Holland and president of the Michigan West Coast Chamber of Commerce. She emphasized the company's deep-rooted ties to the community, with its products adorning homes and businesses alike, including a Howard Miller clock prominently displayed at the Chamber of Commerce. The company attributed its closure to the uncertainty of the future, citing external factors such as tariffs and a downturn in the furniture sector. "Market forces beyond our control have converged, leading us to this crossroads. The health of the housing market, which directly impacts furniture sales, has been shaky. Tariffs have disrupted the supply chain, stoked fears of a recession, and driven up mortgage rates. The furniture industry is witnessing job losses and plant closures," explained Howard J. Buzz Miller, the company's president and CEO. He further elaborated on the compounding effects of inflation and rising interest rates, which have exacerbated the situation by increasing the cost of essential components and driving specialty suppliers out of business. Founded in 1926 by Howard C. Miller, the son of office furniture magnate Herman Miller, the company once employed nearly 195 workers across 4 manufacturing facilities, 1 in Zeeland, another in Traverse City, and 2 in North Carolina. For Zeeland City Manager Tim Clunder, a lifelong resident, the closure is a cause for concern due to its potential ripple effect on jobs and the wider community. "It's not just about the individuals affected, it impacts families, suppliers, and other businesses connected to Howard Miller," he lamented. However, Clunder remains hopeful that the company's legacy will endure through the iconic clock towers, the library community center, and the presence of Howard Miller clocks scattered throughout the community. Lakeshore Advantage, a West Michigan economic development organization, expressed sadness over the closure and its impact on employees and their families. Acknowledging Howard Miller's role as a cornerstone of the Zeeland community and its significant contributions to the local economy since its inception, the organization also highlighted the Miller family's philanthropic endeavors, such as the Howard Miller Library in Zeeland and the Jack Miller Auditorium at Hope College. Lakeshore Advantage assured that the region has a high demand for employees with manufacturing skills and encouraged those affected to connect with West Michigan Works for employment assistance. The organization pledged to collaborate with the company and the city of Zeeland to support the repurposing of the company's headquarters and manufacturing sites. The Michigan West Coast Chamber of Commerce, led by Oksarski, stands ready to assist any former Howard Miller employees seeking new employment opportunities. "We have a career center available, and we're committed to supporting them through this transition and helping them find new career paths," Oksarski stated. While the community will undoubtedly miss Howard Miller, the Chamber of Commerce vows to be a supportive presence during this challenging time. In a press release, Howard Miller revealed that it has been actively seeking a buyer with the help of an investment banker but has thus far been unsuccessful. The company remains open to offers from interested parties. Production will continue until the fourth quarter of 2025, and the company plans to remain operational into 2026 to liquidate its remaining inventory. The closure of Howard Miller marks a poignant moment in Zeeland's history, a testament to the ever-evolving landscape of American manufacturing. As the community comes to terms with this change, it's a reminder of the resilience needed to adapt to the challenges of a shifting economy. 3. End of an era, Howard Miller Clock Shop shuts down after 100 years. The heart of an American community is breaking as a century-old legacy prepares to fade into history. Howard Miller, the iconic Zeeland-based clockmaker that became synonymous with quality craftsmanship and community pride, has announced it'll permanently shut its doors after nearly 100 years. This isn't just another business closure, it's the end of an era that shaped an entire town's identity. But here's where it gets complex. Was this inevitable, or could it have been prevented? In an emotional official statement, President and CEO Howard J. Miller, grandson of the founder, revealed that continuing operations had become unsustainable. The decision comes after a convergence of market influences beyond our control created a perfect storm. Specifically, he pointed to two crushing burdens: a struggling housing market, which directly impacts furniture sales, and punishing tariffs. These tariffs drastically hiked the cost of essential imported components while wiping out niche suppliers, leaving the company stranded without key resources. Despite searching intensely for a buyer to carry on the tradition, no viable offers emerged. Though the company remains technically open to last-minute proposals, production will wind down through late 2025, with inventory sales extending into 2026. All 195 employees across facilities in Zeeland, Michigan, Traverse City, and North Carolina will receive severance and job transition support. Notably, Heckman Furniture, a subsidiary owned by Howard Miller, will close alongside its parent company. The impact ripples far beyond economics. Zeeland City Manager Tim Clunder called it a sad day for a community where Howard Miller was iconic. Founded in 1926 by Howard C. Miller, son of Herman Miller, another furniture giant, the company initially specialized in mantel and wall clocks. Then, in a pivotal 1960s shift, it embraced grandfather clocks as its signature product. Caitlin Vermeris, director of the Zeeland Historical Society, emphasized the cultural void this leaves. Clockmaking shaped Zeeland's economy, culture, and identity. For most of the 20th century, clocks were among our top exports. She added that heritage clocks from Zeeland remain cherished nationwide, so much so that identifying them as the Historical Society's top research request. Zeeland's early advantages: abundant timber, proximity to Grand Rapids Furniture City, and skilled immigrant artisans, made it a natural home for Howard Miller. The company repaid that bond through philanthropy, funding downtown clocks and the Howard Miller Community Center. Yet Vermeris acknowledged the local clock industry had been declining long before this announcement. Now, here's the controversial perspective. Economic expert Brian Long bluntly attributes the collapse to a failure to innovate. They just plain lost their market, he stated, noting that while Howard Miller lasted 100 years, they didn't innovate. Any firm today must evolve, and they stayed in clocks, which simply aren't selling. This critique raises tough questions. Could aggressive innovation have saved them, or were tariffs and market forces truly insurmountable? Clunder, while mourning the loss, urges celebrating Howard Miller's near-century of community contribution. So we turn to you. Do you side with the CEO, that external pressures doomed the company, or with the analyst who says innovation was the lifeline they ignored? Was this an unavoidable consequence of global trade, or a cautionary tale about adapting to change? Share your take below. 4. Howard Miller Company closes after 99 years, a legacy ends. In a striking turn of events, a nearly century-old family-owned furniture company is preparing to shut its doors just shy of its 100th anniversary. Howard Miller, a renowned name in the furniture industry with roots stretching back to 1926, is facing an uncertain future amid challenging economic conditions. The company, which has gracefully grown from its humble beginnings as a clockmaking business into a broad furniture manufacturer, including curio cabinets, tables, chairs, and TV stands, has reached a difficult crossroads. And this is the part most people might overlook. After 99 years, the economic landscape has become too tough to sustain their operations, prompting leadership to announce the closure of all their locations. Despite their long history and dedication, the company couldn't find a way forward. They even collaborated with an investment banker to explore potential sales, but unfortunately, no interested buyers emerged. Howard J. Buzz Miller, the current president and CEO, expressed deep gratitude for their talented team of artisans and professionals. However, he also shared their disappointment, emphasizing that ongoing economic struggles have made it impossible to keep the business afloat. He pointed out that the health of the furniture industry is closely tied to the housing market, which has been notably faltering. The company initially hoped for a market rebound early this year, but that optimism was dashed by rising tariffs, disruptions in supply chains, mounting fears of a recession, and increasing mortgage rates, all factors that have led to job cuts and plant closures across the industry. Additionally, inflation and escalating interest rates have compounded the financial challenges, making continued operations increasingly unfeasible. The company's leadership informed employees of the closures this past Wednesday, affecting roughly 195 workers across facilities in Traverse City, Zeeland, and 2 locations in North Carolina. Despite ending manufacturing, Miller remains thankful for loyal customers, dedicated distributors, and the hard-working team that has supported Howard Miller throughout its nearly century-long journey. The company plans to honor existing orders and will remain open into the following year to sell off remaining inventory, both clocks and furniture, until everything is cleared by 2026. Meanwhile, the Howard Miller Foundation, which contributes to nonprofit initiatives along the lakeshore, will continue its own operations, unaffected by the business closure. At the core, this story prompts us to ask, how resilient is the furniture industry in the face of economic upheaval? And could there be room for innovative solutions or new ownership to revive such storied companies? What do you think? Are these closures signs of broader systemic issues or temporary setbacks?